Hi, I'm Senator Dokoupil. We're getting some breaking news into the newsroom. Golf legend Arnold Palmer is dead at the age of 87. Palmer is part of golf's Big Three, widely credited with popularizing and commercializing the sport during the 1960s. The King, as he was known, joined the PGA Tour in 1954 and went on to win 7 majors during a half-century-long career. After his prime, Palmer stayed close to the game, helping design golf courses across the country, negotiating the opening of the first golf course in China, and, of course, signing a deal with a drink company, Arizona, to market that famous lemonade iced tea mix known simply as Arnold Palmer. Palmer was one of the original inductees to the World Golf Hall of Fame in 1974, and in 2004, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Palmer is survived by his second wife, his 2 daughters, and 6 grandchildren, including one who currently plays on the PGA Tour. And with me is Ashley Mayo, the senior editor for Golf Digest, who has been following Palmer's career. And Golf Digest, incidentally, one of the first to report on his death. Ashley, help me out here. I know this is a big deal. At the same time, put it in context for us.
Yeah, you know, I'm at 31 years old. I am far too young to say that I've been following Arnold Palmer's career, but I can say that I met him 3 times, and his major knack was making people feel like they were the only person in the room. He had a way almost of making you feel like a better version of yourself when you were talking to him. He had a charisma that transcended anyone else's. And his major kind of footprint in golf was that he opened it to the masses. He was dominating on the PGA Tour just about when TVs were becoming popular and something that people had in their homes. And they loved to watch Arnold Palmer. Many say that he is the reason why people bought color TVs, because they didn't want to watch him in black and white. They wanted to watch him in full color and wanted to watch him dominate.
Yeah, we're looking here at pictures of that famous corkscrew swing of his, the wild upward trajectory, the hands way over the head. He didn't come from a classical golf background, right? He went Latrobe, Pennsylvania, working class family. His father was a greenskeeper. I got to imagine it wasn't easy to keep the greens looking nice in Pennsylvania during the winter. But he went on to Wake Forest, golf scholarship there. But even out of that opportunity, it didn't appear he was going to be a pro, right? He was 3 years in the Coast Guard, and then comes out of that, is selling paint, and just surprises everyone by winning this major amateur tournament in Detroit. As you can tell, you may not have been following Arnold Palmer's career, but I was. I actually was a greens mower for a time, and even though it was way after Arnold Palmer's prime, he was definitely a talked-about player in the clubhouses, even of today. Probably for that same reason that you bring up. He seemed so familiar. You would meet him and think to yourself, this is a guy who is only looking at that one person in front of him. He had that kind of warm and compelling personality that is so rare. But help me understand what it meant for, what kind of background did most golfers have mid-century, and how was Palmer different from the typical golfer of his era?
Well, you hit the nail on the head there. Most golfers before his time came from, a privileged background. They were born inside the ropes, and Arnold Palmer was not. So people really loved his kind of way of working around a golf course and just making things happen. It didn't come easy for him necessarily, and so he just kind of he didn't overpower a golf course with grace. But he he found a way to make things happen, and people were just intrigued by that.
Yeah, I love one of the anecdotes that sticks with me is the story of Arnold Palmer's first swing. His father brought little Arnold, age 3, out onto a course and gave him a club and said, "There's the ball, just hit it as hard as you can, and then do it again and do it again." And he certainly took that advice to heart. Was he known as a particularly long driver?
I don't believe so. No, I don't believe he was known to overpower a golf course. But he found a way to make par and get the ball in the hole.
I want to thank you for coming on, rushing on at this late date and late hour. Arnold Palmer, to remind our viewers, breaking news tonight: 87-year-old Arnold Palmer, golf legend, has passed away.